This story happened about 7 years ago, but it still crawls under my skin every time I think about it. It was around 4 a.m. The streets were dead silent, everyone asleep, everyone except me. I was sitting outside my small duplex apartment, cigarette in one hand, half a blunt in the other. The air was heavy, still, and cold enough that I could hear the faintest sound. That's when I caught it. Footsteps, slow, dragging, coming from the alley nearby. I froze. Through the tall bushes in my neighbor's yard, I saw a small shadow moving closer, then a voice, rough and almost too casual. "Yo, can I bum a smoke, bro?" I said yes, my mistake. As he stepped out of the darkness, I saw him, a short man, dressed too sharp for this small town. Something about him felt wrong, but he looked relieved, almost excited when he saw my blunt. He smiled wide, too wide. I let him take it. We started talking, small talk that turned into stories, prison stories, gunfire, arrests, drugs. His words spilled out like he'd been waiting years to unload them on someone. Me? I just nodded, smiled, pretended I wasn't terrified. Hours passed. 2, maybe 3. My social anxiety begged me to cut it off, but I was stuck. Then my wife stepped outside. Her face turned pale when she saw him. She didn't need to say anything. The awkward silence forced him to leave. But he came back. The next day, my neighbor banged on my door, said my friend was waiting for me. And there he was, again, standing, staring, talking like we were old buddies, like he'd known me forever. He carried bags, trash bags, women's clothes spilling out, a purse. He offered it to me, for my wife. My gut screamed that it wasn't his, but I ignored it. Guilt? Fear? I don't know. I even gave him money, food, a warm blanket. At night, when it was freezing, he appeared again, shivering outside my garage. I almost let him sleep inside the house with my wife and newborn baby. Almost. Instead, I let him crash in the garage. The next morning, my neighbors found him there. He told them he was my cousin. That's when things started breaking. He offered me a broken security camera, tried to sell it. His stories made less sense each time. My nerves were on fire. And then the cops came. Radios, knocks. They said my wife's bike was stolen. My stomach sank. I knew. They had already caught him. Turns out, everything in his bags was stolen. Clothes, junk, even panties, even toys. When the officer asked about me, the man described me perfectly. A tall, white guy with a mohawk. He could have dragged me down with him, but he didn't. Maybe he thought we were friends. Maybe he thought he owed me. Or maybe he wanted me to be part of something darker. Either way, he's gone now. but the memory lingers. And if you take one thing from this, don't ever share a smoke with someone you meet at 4 a.m. in the dark. You never know who or what they really are. In May 2020, I moved into an apartment by myself after leaving my university residence. One evening, I went grocery shopping at Walmart. This was before masks were widely used because they were expensive and kept running out quickly. As I was in one of the aisles, a man walked up to me and said, "Hi, excuse me, are you from Toronto?" I replied, "No." He then asked, "Is your name Lena?" "It's not." So I said no, and explained he was confusing me with someone else. But he didn't walk away. He just kept staring at me. That's when I noticed his eyes drift down to my lanyard, where my university bus card was hanging. Then he asked, "Where are you from?" Trying to be polite, I said with a small laugh, I'm from Morocco." He suddenly lit up with this strange excitement, like he'd just found some hidden treasure. He started saying how he was originally from India, and how it was nice to meet someone who spoke a similar language. I immediately regretted telling him where I was from. But at that time, I was an international student living far away from my family, starved for normal human interaction, and unsure how to end the conversation without being rude. I remembered suddenly that I'd forgotten my wallet at home, so I excused myself and walked quickly to another part of the store while calling a friend to sound busy. Apparently, that short conversation was enough. The man somehow found me online afterward and began trying to add me everywhere. When I blocked him, he just made new accounts. This went on for almost a year. From what he wrote in his messages, he was a huge fan of me and a practicing Satanist. His own words, not mine. He claimed he was part of a group or cult. I told the police, but of course they couldn't do much because he hadn't physically hurt me or shown up at my home. I haven't seen him in public again, but he still occasionally tries to send me friend requests and message requests on Instagram and Facebook. The last time he tried, which was just last month, I finally snapped and told him off, telling him the police were aware of him. I've always been careful not to post my address or location online, and all my accounts are private. But sometimes I wonder, what if he's been watching me from the shadows this whole time?
The year was 2003. I was just 15, a shy boy in a small city where everybody knew each other, except me. The internet was my escape, a place where I could finally feel like I belonged. That's when I met her. Her name was Sarah. She said she was 17, brown hair, nerdy, shy like me. We clicked instantly. Every night we talked, typing into the darkness. But something felt off. I had never seen her in school. "I go to the Christian school," she explained. I believed her. I wanted to. Then she asked for my number. We started talking on the phone, her voice soft, warm, inviting. One night she whispered, "Do you want to hang out at my place?" I said yes, without thinking. The day came. I biked across town, the paper with her address crumpled in my hand. It was a small, rundown apartment building, the kind of place where secrets rot behind the walls. I knocked. The door opened, and standing there was not the girl I imagined. It was a woman, late 20s, maybe 30. Her smile too wide. "Hi, I'm Sarah." She led me inside. The blinds were shut, the room dim, the air heavy. I forced a laugh. "So, are your parents home?" She giggled. "No, it's just me." My chest tightened. She poured me wine, told me to drink. I didn't. She sat too close, her eyes locked on mine, unblinking. Her hand slid across my arm. "You're so tense," she whispered. Then she straddled behind me, pressing close. Her breath burned against my ear. "I can make you feel so good." Panic surged through me. I mumbled an excuse, stumbled out the door, and fled. But she didn't stop. Messages, calls, apologies, begging me to come back. And like a fool, I did. This time, she wasn't alone. Her parents were there, smiling. "So this is Sarah's boyfriend," her father said warmly. "She talks about you all the time," her mother added. My blood ran cold. Boyfriend? Sarah squeezed my hand tight, her smile unshakable. Her parents left quickly, but not before her mother whispered, "You're a keeper." I carried a box down to their car, jumped on my bike, and escaped. I never answered her calls again. I never went back. But sometimes, late at night, I still hear her voice in my head. "I can make you feel so good." I always thought I was careful online. A long time ago, I cut ties with a girl who had a nasty habit of cyber harassing people she didn't like. Because of her, I locked down my social media, added two-step verification, and set codes to be sent to my phone if anyone tried to log in. I felt safe. I didn't think about it again until a few nights ago. The first text came at 11:37 p.m., a random number. It addressed me by my full first name, and not just any spelling. My name is spelled unusually. Almost no one gets it right. My stomach tightened. How did they know? I texted back the classic, "Who is this?" The reply chilled me. "Oh my goodness, it's you. Are you 18? I have something I want to Cash App you." I stared at the screen, my heart pounded. Some scam? Some freak? I texted again, harder now. "Who the heck is this?" No reply. Then, within 5 minutes, 3 calls, 2 voicemails, different numbers, and another text. "Pick up the phone," my full name. My pulse thudded in my ears. I took screenshots and called my boyfriend. He tried calling the number. No answer. Blocked. 30 minutes later, 5 more calls, another new number, and then the text that made me stop breathing. "I am a 40-year-old man. I'm in love with you. I will keep trying to reach you until you respond. I won't stop." Blocked him again. Called my parents. 2 minutes later, a new number.
Just talk to me for 5 minutes. I'll pay you, then I'll disappear. Blocked again. I told my boss, went to work shaking, then went home and filed a police report. I bought a baseball bat, installed alarms, and still I couldn't sleep. I was sure it was someone I'd met, a guy who'd just been fired from my job for sexual harassment maybe. A friend who's good with tech used a burner phone to text the stalker, pretending to be me. We wanted to know who he was. The conversation went long, but the truth boiled down to this. He wanted me to talk on the phone while he did things. He called 26 times, no answer. And then, silence. I thought it was over. I was wrong. Morning. A new number. A new text. This time, he claimed to be a friend's father. My chest went tight. Both my parents and my boyfriend were at work. I was alone. So my boyfriend sent his mother to sit with me. When the phone rang again, she answered. A rasping voice whispered through the speaker, "Please," and then hung up. I broke. My hands shook. My throat closed. She called the police again. An officer came out to update my report. While the cops were there, she texted him. And when she told him the police were involved, everything changed. Suddenly, he didn't know me. He meant no harm. He was just lonely. He said he got my number off Facebook. I could have sworn my number was private, but I'd posted on Marketplace recently. That had to be it. I deleted the account, I changed my number, and for now, the calls have stopped. But every night, when my phone buzzes in the dark, my heart still seizes. Because he knew my name, and he promised he wouldn't stop. I love Facebook. I love memes. I love talking to new people. Long comment sections, hours of scrolling in the dark. But even with all that, I never gave away my private life. Where I live, where I work, my birthday, everything locked down tight. I thought I was safe. That's when he messaged me, Tyler. It started simple, just a friendly message after a long thread of comments. He seemed interesting. We had things in common. I was happy to have a new friend. I told him early, I'm taken, happily, getting married next year. He seemed upset, but respectful. I thought that was it. But the messages continued, every day. If I didn't reply, he'd get pushy. I told him I'm busy. He apologized, said he was bored, lonely. I felt sorry for him. Then, one day, he messaged me. He wanted to hold me. I shut it down immediately. I reminded him of my fiancé, told him, stop or it's over. That's when he lost it. Threats, messages about hurting my fiancé, rage pouring through the screen. I blocked him, put his messages on ignore. I thought I was safe. A friend commented on my post. He did the same to her, showed up at her house. I checked my messages. Over a dozen texts, taunting me. Then something darker. He told me about a man who cut him off in traffic, said he was going to shoot him, said it would be my fault for ignoring him. Then he started to narrow down where I lived. I'd never told him, not even close. I only once said I was going to Arby's. My phone was dying. That's it. But somehow he knew. 7 minutes from Arby's. Exactly how long it takes to walk. Then he named the street I lived off. The black sedan linked to my address. My sister's car. He knew. I called the police. They said there's nothing they could do. He sent pictures of dead people, told me my family would be next. They said, unless he shows up, you're screwed. I filed for a protective order, told him. He replied, nothing can be done until I'm served.
My fiance and his cousin dug for info. We had his license plates, addresses, birthdays, but he was untraceable.
The day of my court case to extend the order, he started again. He texted, "Someone could come over and shoot you in 15 minutes." His last known address was exactly 15 minutes from my house. I spent months afraid, jumping at every noise. He was finally arrested. History of this, multiple charges, all dropped. He stood there in court. I had never seen his face until that moment. They gave him a suspended sentence. I still can't sleep. The slightest noise wakes me up. This